Hi, welcome to another episode of What's Happening Now. I'm your host, Jenny Leiker. We have a great show for you today, and we're mixing things up just a little bit. I don't know if you noticed, but we actually have 3 guests on stage today. Only one of them is going to be talking, I think. Garoleen Wilson, thank you so much for coming, and you are here to tell us about, in case anybody wants to guess, the Spring Chicken Festival.
Right.
So, obviously, there's probably chickens involved, but tell us all about what happens with the Spring Chicken Festival and where it's at.
Our inspiration came from a local business that has like a 6-foot metal chicken outside of their business, and our office is across the street, and people always stop to take pictures with these chickens. And so we decided we needed another spring event in Smith Center, so we were going to have a chicken festival. And it kind of morphed into something different. We were originally thinking games and kids' activities and things. But several friends of mine, we enjoy buy-sell trade events and poultry auctions, and we travel a long ways to go to these things. So we decided to add that, and it kind of turned out to be the drawing event. And this is our 2nd annual, and we had such a good turnout and such a good response last year that we wanted to expand it. We focus on chickens and rabbits, and we thought, well, with spring you also are thinking about your garden. So we're expanding it to gardening, and not just, we'll do backyard gardening, the hobby level, but we'll also include a commercial aspect. We'll have someone from High Plains Poultry in Rawlins County come talk about their pastured poultry and how much they sell from western Kansas into Denver. And then we'll also have someone with a high tunnel to talk about gardening commercially. We're going to have food and entertainment. We're having a bluegrass singer from Concordia coming, and we'll have lots of booths. And this year we're adding a poultry and rabbit show, and people are really excited about that.
Now, I don't know if we've said the date yet. If we have already, let's say what the date is again.
The date is Saturday, April the 2nd.
Okay. Now, I have a friend who has chickens, and it turns out that they're quite wonderful pets and have amazing stories. Now, these chickens here belong to you, right?
Right.
And how many chickens do you have?
I hate it when people ask me that.
Quite a few.
I think we're probably 40-ish. Yeah. My husband and I, we've always had a laying flock, and there's some beautiful chicken breeds, and I think these are 2 of them that are very pretty.
Absolutely.
This is a Jubilee Orpington, and they are a large, I would say, dual purpose. They could be egg layers or meat chickens, but they're very pretty. And
beautiful chicken.
So I brought her, and the one you're holding is a buff Brahma Bantam. They have Brahma chickens of standard, which is a very large size, and then the Brahmas. And both of these breeds are known for their gentleness. And these are not my pets. They're one of 40. So you can see that me picking them out of the pen today, that they're very gentle.
Well, it seems like chickens are kind of rising in popularity, and who doesn't love a little bunny?
That's right.
So is it something, this festival is something for people of all ages, it sounds like?
Right. This year we wanted to focus on helping people that kind of like them but have never had experience with them. After the show, the buy-sell trade will start, and we'll have a gentleman doing a kind of an open class. You can come up and hold the chickens. I'll show you how to hold them properly, and the rabbits, and get some hands-on. There's a lot of cities that allow hens in the backyard, and my daughter lives in Tulsa, and she can have chickens in the backyard. So I am lucky I live in the country, and so I can have chickens.
Well, it sounds like it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of things to do there that day, and it's exciting that your first year was so good that you can do it again.
Right.
Now you have a Facebook page, I think, don't you?
We do. It is called the Spring Chicken Festival, and we're accepting vendors, people who have rabbits and poultry or garden supplies to come sell things. and we'll have booths. We'll have the NRCS agent is going to talk about worms for kids, which is important in gardening, composting, and lots of chicken and rabbit and gardening things.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for coming and bringing these special chickens who are quite lovely to talk about the Spring Chicken Festival in Smith Center. And we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with Jana's campaign.
Hey Nex-Tech customers, would you like a chance to win cash prizes and free service? Well, here's your chance to win up to $200. On the first and third Sunday of every month, tune in to Nex-Tech Local 1 at 6 p.m. and play along with Nex-Tech Sunday Funday Bingo. If you miss an episode, don't worry about it. It'll replay every night at 6 p.m. Use your cards included with your Nex-Tech statement or print your own at nextech.com/bingo. Nex-Tech Sunday Funday Bingo is brought to you by these sponsors.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associate to learn more.
You should never run out of the important stuff.
Oh, come on!
Thanks, Mark.
If your current wireless plan leaves you at the end of your rope, imagine how you'll feel with Nex-Tech Wireless, with unlimited everything.
Nex-Tech Wireless gives you the freedom to go as far as you want. Nex-Tech Wireless, something different.
What a girl wants in her home kitchen. Ease of use, flexibility, fun, the latest kitchen design, Frigidaire Professional Real Stainless Steel for fewer finger smudges, a French door refrigerator, convection cooking, a quiet dishwasher. Have the staff at Genuine Appliance in Hayes demonstrate new Frigidaire Professional appliances to find what you want. Genuine Appliance at 1224 East 27th in Hayes. Everything a girl wants.
Make a difficult choice an easy one with Cedar View Assisted Living's knowledgeable and caring staff. Your loved one will be professionally taken care of as they transition into their new community. With movies, holiday parties, planned exercises, and games, residents will have opportunities every day to enjoy their time at Cedar View. Multiple room styles are available, ensuring a just right fit for your loved one. Come see Cedar View Assisted Living for yourself next to Sternberg Museum. The care you need, the home you want.
When a storm leaves your home battered and damaged, there's only one thing you can do. Forget all about it. The men in black at AquaShield Roofing and Construction have the skills and knowledge to fix your home so you'll forget the damage ever happened. Along with roofs, they do siding, guttering, insulation, windows, doors, and more. With offices in Hugoton, Oberlin, and Liberal, they're never too far away when damage strikes. When you need to forget about home damage, call the men in black at AquaShield Roofing and Construction.
Thanks for tuning back into What's Happening Now. Our next guest is Christie Brungardt, and Christie is the co-founder of Jana's campaign, also a member of the board of directors, and I'm also honored to call Christie one of my friends. Christie, we've been trying to connect for a long time, and there's so many amazing things going on with Jana's campaign. This is the first chance that we got, so
It is.
So glad to have you on the show. For those that don't know about it, let's start with just a little bit of information about what Jana's campaign is, and then we have some really special programs we want to talk about.
Okay. Well, Jana's campaign is an organization that my husband and I started in 2009, which was 1 year after Jana, who was a KU law school student, had been murdered by her ex-boyfriend. And my husband and I started working about learning about domestic and dating violence. And the more we learned, the more we felt we were really supposed to be doing this kind of work. And so we started doing this work in 2009, and one of the programs that we have created over the course of time as we're trying to figure out where are the gaps, where's something that we could do, what could be our niche, we felt that one audience that we could really make an impact with was middle and high school students. And sadly, as the rates of traditional adult population domestic violence has gone down, it actually has gone down quite a lot over the last 20 years, but sadly during that time what has gone up dramatically is teen dating violence in middle and high school students. And in fact, in 2010, our U.S. Congress declared that February would be designated as Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month because of the rise of incidents in middle and high school students. So we started working towards that goal.
That's something that I think very, very few of us knew or know, and that's important to get out. So what are some of the programs that you've developed to address that?
Our overall youth program, we've called it Love Doesn't Hurt, but we really work with schools, within schools. We work with teachers, sometimes it's administrators that call us, sometimes it's students that call us, but we have several different options that we could work with in terms of this Love Doesn't Hurt programming. One of those is curriculars. So we wanted to be able to embed curriculum in existing courses so it wouldn't be a big problem for a teacher to integrate these 10 lessons into their existing course. And so, but we had to have money to buy the sets of curriculum. So first we went out and gathered up some corporate sponsorship, and they helped us buy books. They're called Safe Dates books, and we are able to give those now to any teacher in a middle or high school class who would like to integrate 10 lessons about raising awareness about teen dating violence and raising awareness of what does a healthy relationship look like. And we have teachers that have embedded that curriculum in anywhere from a 5th grade math teacher to a 9th grade health teacher to an English teacher, just across the board. And there are many FACS teachers around the state that are using the Safe Dates curriculum. But we will work with any teacher in middle and high school that's interested in doing more of this kind of work. And so there's that curricular piece of it, but then on the co-curricular side, at the same time we ask sponsors for funding to buy the books, we also mentioned that it would be nice if we had a pot of money. We call it our mini grant funding. And so if there are a group of students, a student organization, or just a group of students at any school across the state, we have a pot of money that if they will write us a little grant application, basically just to explain what kind of project they would like to do in their school that would raise awareness about teen dating violence, that we would send them a check for $100. And we have had students across the state doing just amazing projects with our mini grant funding. So that's the co-curricular piece of it, because we believe that really if students go through the curricular piece, go through the co-curricular piece, they have the cognitive knowledge, but then they've also done it, that we believe that will stick with them longer. And we have actually worked with thousands and thousands of students across the state of Kansas, certainly pretty much all students in Ellis County. And so we've been very, very pleased with the popularity and the result of that program so far.
Another thing that I wanted to just talk about briefly is your programs do address gender-based violence, and that's a term that confuses some people. Can you just kind of explain why don't you just do men hurting women? Why is it called gender-based violence?
Well, the language is really an issue. That's apparently been an issue for a long time. It's been an issue for us because if we say domestic violence to middle, high school students, even college students, domestic violence does not speak to them. But if we talk about dating violence, that seems more relevant to them. But we also know that though there is a larger percentage of women who are victims of this type of violence, not all victims are women. And so we hate to use the term violence against women. And so we started using gender-based violence, but actually recently we are now using gender and relationship violence. But the language is a problem.
And I'm sure that that's something that the curriculum addresses. One of the things that I thought was particularly interesting, in addition to teaching, like you said, that the healthy relationships, also giving students the tools when they have a friend who's in a bad relationship, because I think the statistics I read were maybe 1 in 4 have experienced it, but even if someone's child hasn't, a good chance one of their friends has. And
absolutely. And technology is driving these issues faster than anyone can keep up. And actually, statistically, if you ask students across the country, have you ever been a victim of physical violence in any kind of a relationship, they would say 1 in 10 of them has been. But if you then say physical, verbal, mental, sexual, or stalking, it's 1 in 4. So it goes up dramatically when you include all forms. of gender and relationship violence.
And starting young is so important. And so I wanted to have you on because it is something you've talked to many, many schools in our area, and I know there's some that maybe haven't had the opportunity, or it's been a couple years and there's a new crop of kids in the middle school. Christy, what is the best way for our schools or parents or anybody to learn more and maybe get some information?
Great. Well, we would love to have anyone call our office if they're interested in more information, and that number is 785-656-0324, or they can go to our website, which is janascampaign.org. Our most current information, when we go to schools, we always put pictures up and talk about where we've been most recently and really highlight the school. That is just Jana's Campaign on Facebook, and then we also have Jana's Campaign on Twitter. So if you follow all those things, you'll know a lot about Jana's Campaign. But if all you would rather do is just call and ask somebody, just call 785-656-0324.
Well, Christy, thank you so much for coming. I'm glad we could finally work it out.
Yeah, I am too.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and learn about a great tournament that's coming up.
The easiest way for you to get anywhere in the country is the Hayes Regional Airport. Twice daily flights between Hayes and Denver means you are only 45 minutes from over 100 direct flights to get you to your destination as quick as possible. Service from SkyWest has completely changed the flight experience out of Hayes thanks to their 50-passenger jets that include complimentary beverages and an in-flight restroom. With free parking and short security lines, there has never been a better time to use the Hayes Regional Airport. The next time you travel, check Hayes first at flyhays.com to see the time and money you could save.
All Faiths Funeral Chapel and Smith Center can help you and your loved ones prepare for a difficult time with pre-arranged funeral planning. Not only will it be a stress reliever during a tough time, it will save your family money by locking in a guaranteed rate so funeral costs will be less of a burden. Pre-arranged funeral plans now have options to make paying for a funeral easier, such as a 3, 5, and 7-year payment option. Call 785-686-4120 or visit allfaithsfuneralchapel.com.
If you could, what would you have in your kitchen? The quietest dishwasher? Sure. A big 28 cubic foot refrigerator? Oh yeah. A true convection wall oven? Check. You'll find Frigidaire professional kitchen appliances at Genuine Appliance in Hayes. They have all that, plus real stainless steel for fewer fingerprints and smudges. Frigidaire at Genuine Appliance at 1224 East 27th in Hayes. Your dream kitchen doesn't have to be a dream anymore.
The plumber said there's something wrong with my water. It looks like you have hard water. You need a water softener. Let me show you the options we have. Hey, do you guys deliver salt? We sure do. What about drinking water? We have water coolers and drinking water systems. We even have bottled water.
Find us on Facebook and itsbetterwater.com. And remember,
it's not just water.
Growing up, our parents were always telling us to share our toys and share our snacks. Well, there are some things you wouldn't want to share. Your toothbrush, headphones, bars of soap. Well, you shouldn't have to share your internet bandwidth either. On a cable internet connection, you're not getting the best out of your internet experience because you have to share with your neighbors, and they're taking some of your bandwidth. With Nex-Tech, you receive your internet connection over fiber, and you don't have to share the bandwidth that is rightfully yours. I'm Peggy from Nex-Tech, and our products and people are here for you.
Hey Nex-Tech customers, would you like a chance to win cash prizes and free service? Well, here's your chance to win up to $200. On the first and third Sunday of every month, tune in to Nex-Tech Local 1 at 6 p.m. and play along with Nex-Tech Sunday Funday Bingo. If you miss an episode, don't worry about it. It'll replay every night at 6 p.m. Use your cards included with your Nex-Tech statement or print your own at nextech.com/bingo. Nex-Tech Sunday Funday Bingo is brought to you by these sponsors.
Welcome back to What's Happening Now. I have Mike Hughes with me, and Mike is here to talk about the Sunflower Shootout. Thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about the Sunflower Shootout. How are you involved and what is it?
Well, I am the Recreation Director for the City of Smith Center. Our Recreation Commission a few years ago decided that we wanted to kind of do something to highlight some of the area athletes, and I talked to Lady Reg coach Nick Lynn, and I had quite a conversation on the bus trip one day. And our original intent, when we started 6 years ago, we were going to have what was called mortar ball. And we were going to take 8 counties along the Nebraska and Kansas border for Kansas against players from 8 counties in Nebraska. But Nebraska's version of the State High School Activities Association has a rule that if any of the kids that participate in this event could not participate in spring sports. So, as you know, most of these kids are 3-sport athletes, you know, fall, winter, and spring. So that means they wouldn't be able to participate in track, golf, baseball, softball, etc. So we kind of had to revamp a little bit, and Smith Center is a member of the Mid-Continent League, and I think it's a great league. And so we decided to come up with an area that we could select the athletes from, basketball players, and to go against some of the all-stars from the Mid-Continent League. First thing we had to do, we had to make sure that we were okay with the Kansas State High School Activities Association. A member school cannot host one of these events. So our Recreation Commission sponsors it. We have to ask them every year for permission to be able to use the school facilities and that type of thing. And that's why a lot of the events that you see with these all-star basketball games are hosted by colleges, and they use them as fundraisers. Colby, Barton County, Kansas Wesleyan, etc. There's a lot of those around. So we're kind of unique in that we're one of the only ones that really is not sponsored by a college. But it has to be seniors. It have to be members of the senior class in order to participate. And then we also had to make sure that we didn't violate any of the NCAA, NAIA, and NJCAA, which is junior college rules. So we got all those rules together to decide exactly what we could do to make sure that we didn't violate anything. And really the only rule that we have to be sure of is that if any of the athletes are going to participate, if they're going to play in Division I NCAA basketball, they can only play in 2 all-star events. Otherwise, they can play in as many as they'd like. And we've only had one that's done that in the 5 years that we've had it, and that was the first year Lexi Hardick from Hill City played at the University of Missouri in Kansas City. Now, Danny Winters, who also played in our first one from Plainville, is on the track team at Kansas State University. Now, since it wasn't basketball, that did not matter because she went in track. Matter of fact, she's been stellar. I think she won a meet 2 weeks ago and had the 3rd longest throw in shot put in Kansas State track history for the girls. So she's gone on. We've had some great athletes, but we just basically have a 14-county area. From the north, we go from Decatur County to Washington County, and then go south 1 county from Cloud out to Thomas. So you're talking Concordia to Colby, and then Oberlin to Washington. In that area, I contact coaches in that area and have them give their input on players and statistics. We use a couple of websites. maxpreps.com is one that keeps a lot of the stats on there, so we can go through and research and see. Mid-Continent League, we just let the coaches pick the players, so that takes a little pressure off us. Sure. They nominate not only players from their team, but people around the area. I actually start on this about the 1st of December to get a list of all the seniors of all the schools. There's 22 schools in the North Central Kansas area and 10 schools in the Mid-Continent League. And they got a list of all the seniors, and then we know kind of who to keep our eyes on and so on and so forth. And then we wait till about the middle of January to the end of January when most of them get through their league tournaments. And then we have the coaches submit the names of who they think should play. And sometimes it gets kind of tough. There's, sometimes this year we had North Central Kansas boys. There was like 6 or 8 boys all competing for, I think there was 4 spots, and they were all so even. So, it gets kind of tough to do that. But it's been a really unique event for us.
Well, how many students end up participating in it in total? We
picked 10 boys and 10 girls in the Mid-Continent League against 10 boys and 10 girls on the North Central Kansas side. And then the Mid-Continent League, we select our coaches. We just rotate around coaches that are able to do it. And so we get them involved. And I think it's been great for our league. I think it's developed a lot of camaraderie among the students. It's always unique on game day. When they get there, we get them there and have a check-in time, and we feed them lunch. And then there's practice time allowed for both the boys and girls before the games start. And I just think I've seen a lot of friendships developed over that time, and that's what it's all about. We don't really care who wins. We just like to bring in some great players and have a chance to compete with some of the best, against some of the best, and have fun, make some new friends.
So what is the date this year? And tell us how people can, do they have to buy tickets, or people that want to watch, what do they need to do?
People just go to the gate. It's on Saturday, March 19th this year. Girls game tips off at 4 o'clock and the boys at 6. And it's at the Smith Center High School gym. Fairly cheap, I think it's $6 for adults, and it's a reduced rate for kids. But they gets them in both games, and we have 3-point contests at halftime and things, and that's always a lot of fun. So it's really a great day. If you enjoy basketball, it's really great.
Wonderful, Mike. It sounds like a great event. And is there a place they can go to? Is there a website or anywhere to learn more?
You can check. We have Smith Center Recreation Commission. We're on Facebook, and we have that. And then smithcenterrec.org is our website, so they can look at those.
Great. Thank you for telling us about the Sunflower Shootout. If you missed part of today's show or want to see some past episodes, go out onto our YouTube channel, and you can see all the episodes of What's Happening Now in addition to our other wonderful local content shows. And make sure you keep tuning in so you know what's going on in your area.